Hello out there. My name is Laolu Akonde, and you are on to Inside Sources. But first, here is my take for today entitled, The Danger of ADC Atiku's Rejection of Rotational Presidency. Now, the African Democratic Congress, ADC, the main opposition party in the country today, they have come full circle, reopening regional politics at the level of the presidential race. It is an attempt, in my view, again, to dampen, perhaps crush, what is a critical coping mechanism for what Nigeria remains, namely a country struggling for badly desired unity and struggling for real progress amid very deep ethnic, religious, and regional differences. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and the ADC have not only ignored what is reality, they are also pretending that we have reached the level of sufficient national cohesion at the political level. They are pretending because they know better. Sadly, this is happening at the time when opposition parties were expected to build consensus and present a united front. Instead, ADC and Atiku's political moves are already creating visible cracks within the polity, including even inside the ADC itself. Now, to be sure, Atiku has the right to run as long as he wishes. He hasn't broken the law. It is the national consensus on how to manage the presidential office in Nigeria, namely the principles and the objectives behind rotation, that Atiku is assaulting yet again. But the danger of what ADC and Atiku are doing now is not just political disagreement. The danger is division, the likely reopening of ethnic tension in the course of a presidential race. And we can smell some rat already. There is a brewing undercurrent in parts of the country that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu must suffer revenge. And that's the language, that he must suffer revenge. And it is deep in the hearts of those who are pushing it. We shouldn't have to mention names, at least not now. What we can say is that some political interests in sections of this country are saying they supported Obasanjo to be president. He betrayed them. They supported Jonathan to be president. He betrayed them. And now they are saying that they supported Tinubu to be president and he has betrayed them. It's the same offense. My response to that undercurrent narrative is this. Is there any portion or section of this country that can really boast that there has been or there was any kind of significant transformation of the people in that section of the country because the president came from there? Meanwhile, once again, on the auspices of ADC and Atiku, the country is gradually being dragged back into the familiar North versus South political rivalry, which injures and assaults our fledgling efforts to build the nation, a solid basis for our national unity. Atiku used the PDP in 2022-2023 to do exactly the same thing he is now doing, when then he ignored the idea of rotational presidency and he flung the legacy party, which is PDP, into the crisis from which the party is yet to recover up until now. What will be the fate of the ADC if this Atiku gamble against rotational presidency fails again? So sad. Instead of strengthening political institutions and building national consensus, political ambition often overrides collective political stability and even the common good in our country. A good number of our political elites are certainly guilty of this overly predominant ambition factor. But no one among them reflects it the most than our unrelenting former Vice President Atiku. But here is our greatest worry on Inside Sources. The crisis of insecurity that has bedeviled the country in the past several years, certainly over a decade, is an existential threat. It goes to the very soul of what kind of country we want. And at no time do we need our politicians to demonstrate a sense of commonality, of purpose, and national unity more than now. so that while fighting insecurity, we won't have to be dragged along in political battles of ethnicity, regional and religious acrimonies. Keeping faith with rotational presidency would have provided us a platform for that unanimity of purpose and action. But alas, ADC and Atiku wouldn't care so much about that. Instead, their spokespeople are rehashing already false narratives that measuring rotational presidency must only begin in 1999. What kind of impudence is that? Was Nigeria born in 1999 or 1960? When did Nigeria started to lead themselves? Was it in 1960 or 1999? And whether you support Atiku or not, the bigger issue remains this. Can our political class genuinely put national stability above personal ambition? Because if our politicians cannot build unity within their own parties or among themselves, how then do they hope to build unity in this country? Ultimately, both conversations around insecurity and political instability point to the same deeper national problem: leadership, and what ought to be the ability of the leadership to build trust, the ability to enforce accountability, the ability to place national stability above personal ambition. But alas, there are no such abilities. And until we confront those issues and confront them honestly, this crisis may simply continue repeating itself in different shapes, sizes, and forms. We want peace, we want justice, we want progress. Working together promotes those objectives, but allowing a regional and ethnic division escalate at the level of the presidential race at a time like this in our national evolution is a poor reflection of what our politics has become. And that is very sad. There you have it. Inside Sources goes full blast after this. Welcome back to Inside Sources. Today I have a guest that is I'm going to engage on issues of politics, governance, and their intersection with religion. He is the presiding pastor of Living Spring Chapel International and also the national director for the PFN in the Directorate of Politics and Governance, and he was one time the Deputy Speaker of the Oyo State House of Assembly. I'd like to welcome back to Inside Sources Pastor Femi Emmanuel. Pastor, good to see you again, sir.
Nice to see you. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you so much.
That's right.
Yeah, so elections going to start again in another 7 months in January. So I wanted to have a conversation with you considering your role, specifically the fact that you have been in politics and you are also now a religious leader, a very prominent one in our country. So I want us to have that conversation. I want to start this way, that as we go to 2027, when we are going to have another general election, what do you think ought to be the role or the responsibility of religious groups and religious leaders in shaping the outcome of the future of this country, broadly?
Thank you, Laulu. I must thank you for the good work you are doing.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you you are doing a very good work. Now, what should be the role of the religious groups and leaders towards taking Nigeria forward? I am like a door, Laulu. I see deeply into the church world, and I have seen into the Nigerian political world. Now, the religious leaders, the church leaders, which is my own constituency, must go beyond this traditional pray for Nigeria, pray for the leaders. We must go beyond just praying for the leaders or advising or protesting or addressing press conference. We must go beyond that into actually involvement in producing credible candidates that the public can vote for. Until then, we cannot have credible leaders. The Bible says, show me your faith without works, without action. And I will, through my action or my work, show you my faith. So all this, the traditional belief of pray for the political leaders. And that's what we have always done. You pray for them, they go there, they plunder the whole system, everything is deteriorating. You keep praying for them. So the churches or the religious groups, including the youth, must go beyond just praying, just giving advice, addressing press conference, carrying placard, protesting. That won't solve Nigerian problem. We must go, we must be involved in the production of credible candidates to be voted for. That is when Nigeria will change. If we keep praying and we sit by the sideline, fold our arms, and it will just be going in vicious circle, because Nigerian problem is leadership problem. Everything God has blessed Nigeria with, but we lack credible leaders, sincere leaders, God-fearing leaders, leaders that have the vision to lead this country and have the interest of the masses. Everybody goes there to plunder the nation. I have stolen my own for 8 years. You come and steal your own for another 8 years. Laulu, I have been there. Prayer, sitting on the fence, folding our arms, will not change anything because of the massive followership the church has and the massive number of youth. I'm taking the church and the youth together. Now, we can't sit on the fence and just pray. We must get involved at the grassroots to profiling, producing credible leaders that the public can vote for. That's the only time we can have good governance, because our problem is lack of leadership. Leadership deficit is the problem with this country.
Thank you for those opening comments, Pastor. So now, if you look at it, the spread, I mean, you are a Christian religious leader, and I know that just like we have quite a number of churches, we also have a good number of mosques that people go.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, but let's talk about what you are familiar with, which are churches. If we look especially at the Pentecostal movement, Pastor,
yes,
the number of Pentecostal churches in Nigeria alone must be running to at least 50,000, if I'm not wrong.
Much more.
Okay. Now, and if we have only 774 local governments.
Yes.
I'm sure that you even have more detail as to the breakdown of that.
That's right.
So I want to make a comment and then.
Politician then.
I
said I was a grassroots politician.
Exactly.
I was a world chairman before becoming the deputy speaker, so I know what I'm talking about.
Absolutely. So I wanted to ask you that the problem doesn't seem as if the church, which is your own focus, it's not that they don't have the strength, it's not that they don't have the spread. Churches are all over this place. Let's even focus only on Pentecostal churches. I'm a member of Redeem, and I know that Redeem must have no less than 40,000 parishes in Nigeria.
That's right. Yes, that's right.
Now, that is a very significant number.
That's right.
How do you think, we can tap into that to mobilize Nigerians, around issues of good governance and around the people that are elected?
Thank you, Laulu. And that is the burden I carry. Like I told you, I see into the Nigerian political world arena, and I see into the church world. Again, like you said, there are also Muslims. There are people that are not even Christians or Muslims, but they are patriotic Nigerians.
Yes.
The problem with Nigeria, Laulu, is that good Nigerians are not where leaders are chosen that would lead Nigeria. Good Nigerians, patriotic Nigerians, the church world, like you have said, there is a church organization among the Pentecostals, your church, 40,000 parishes. The other church, Living Faith, 10,000 churches established yearly. I've not come to other ones. I've not come to Orthodox. I've not come to traditional churches. And like I said, there are also good patriotic Muslims, and even non-church, non-Muslim people who are patriotic. But we are not at the grassroots. The political power of Nigeria, those who rule this country, those who have plundered this country and continue to plunder it, they own the grassroots. Laulu, democracy in Nigeria is only on paper. Democracy in Nigeria is only on paper. Democracy is supposed to be the government of the people, by the people, for the people. That is in other places, not here. Here, political parties are owned. That nucleus called the world, like you said, we have 36 states plus Abuja, 774 local government, 8,880 wards. That's the grassroots. That's the nucleus. Christians, my own world, my own Christian world, and most of the youth out there, we are not at that level. And until we are at that level to co-produce, I mean, political parties have just been having their primaries. We are all witnessing primaries. And it's option A4. And that was what we did. That was the option A4 in operation when I was
elected. Yeah.
So you kill behind your candidate. Now, we all watch it on television. How many Christians do you see there? How many youth do you see there? Youth are on social media. Christians are locked up in churches, praying and receiving powerful messages, insightful messages from their pastors. They are jumping up. Some pastors are venting their angers on the pulpit, pouring venom on the ruler. Those things won't change anything until we go to the root. The root gives birth to fruits. My Bible tells me in Psalm 11, verse 3, if the foundation is faulty, there's nothing you can put on it. Nigerians, our political system is faulty. This system will never produce the kind of leadership we want if we don't go to the root and join hands in producing patriotic, credible, competent Nigerians. We will just be recycling these old politicians. Look, Nigeria has been colonized 3 times. The North colonized 4 times because the jihad, Usman Dan Fodio jihad, has already conquered the North before the British colonialists came. Yeah. And when they came, the British colonialists were on us for many years. They couldn't remove the jihadist, oligarchy, feudality system of the North. So they let them be, rule them. That was why they gave them indirect rule and gave the southern Nigeria direct rule. So they made these emirs more powerful, working for them. So the North has been colonized 4 times, but the rest of us 3 times. First by the colonial masters, second by the military. The military sat on us for 33 years, for goodness sake. And to perpetuate this corruption that the politicians came and took to another level. And now we are recolonized by the political warlords, the party owners. A political party is supposed to be the coming together of people of the same mind, the same ideology. They provide a manifesto, sell it to the public. This is what we are willing to do for you if you vote us into power. Nigeria is not so, Laulu. Somebody owns the structure. Somebody is an enterprise. Somebody owns the structure. As brilliant, as cerebral, as informed, as articulate as you are. You can't be a councillor in your hometown or where you are without a godfather. It is godfatherism. This is what I am calling the church. Millions upon millions that we locked up. The church community is an imprisoned community. We, their general overseers, locked them in, pumping doctrine into their head and asking them, pray for Nigeria, hope for heaven. The youth are there, pressing phone on WhatsApp, on social media. That won't change anything. Until we change it from the root, we will not have credible people to vote for. We have been recolonized, and this is even worse, by the political warlords, the party owners, the money bags. They perpetuate themselves on Nigeria. And look at it. Look at the presidential candidate, for instance, that are presenting themselves. Are they not the old ones we have always known? It is APC or PDP or ADC. Are they not the same people that we have always been voting for, Laulu, if we continue with this system, if you vote 100 times, they are the one you'll be voting for. Because they are the one that own the wards, the grassroots. They put their people there. You need to attend the ward meeting in Nigeria, and you will shake your head for this country. The kind of people there, they pay them, they organize them. The whole church world is asleep. We are in the church. We are singing. We are celebrating. Miracles. We are celebrating branches. We are celebrating structure. We are celebrating media power. But they keep on plundering the country. So they are happy to say, pastors, keep praying for us. Keep praying for us. It must go beyond prayer. We must be involved. The youth must also go beyond social media. Good Nigerians must go to the grassroots in their numbers and well-structured and good enough. Political parties are in caucuses. You see what is playing the same out? Caucuses. These caucuses are put in place by the political leaders who wants to take the power. The power of who rule this country is at the world level. It's at the grassroots. And that is what the church world does not know at all. And the youth are not willing to also do so. That's the burden. That's why I'm crying out. We will keep voting for the same people. Look at them. Look at all the presidential candidates that are presented forward. They are the old ones. They are the ones we have always voted for. We have either them or their sons or their daughter or their cronies. Why? They own the structure that we produce the candidate. It's a party politics. The party will have to produce who you vote for. So we must go beyond prayer and prophesying and venting anger on the pulpit. We must get involved. You can't change the system you are not involved in.
Excellent point, Pastor, and you and I have had these conversations, over and over again. But yes. I also wanted to, dimension it in a different way, just to deepen the issue. The Nigerians, that we're talking about, I mean, yes. in your own case, Christians who go to church, Muslims yes. who go to the mosque, traditional leaders who do their other stuff.
That's right.
It is about their lives that we're talking about.
Yes.
It is about security, their economic well-being, about their welfare. I wanted to ask you, in your own view, why are people disinterested? Before we talk about the leadership, the people themselves, Pastor, why is it that they are not interested in trying to say that, look, this is where we need to go and take this matter and solve it? In your view?
Laulu, number one is ignorance. Ignorance. Hosea 4:6 my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. The church world has shot herself in the foot by saying politics is evil, politics is dirty. That's what we all grew up with. Don't go near politics. Leave politics for the politicians. That's what has brought Nigeria to where we are now. So number one is that church is a giant in slumber. So it has been ingrained into our Christian DNA that politics is evil. Politics is bad. Let's focus on our primary assignment, which is preaching the gospel, winning souls, preparing the bride for Christ. That's the language we speak. Nothing is wrong in winning souls. Nothing is wrong in making disciples. It is true. That's our primary assignment. But where is the environment for the church to thrive? The people we are bringing up, we are saving, we are producing, where is the environment? So, ignorance. And then, you see, democracy, to be very, very factual, is not African breakfast. It's not part of African setting. Our setting is KBOC, the traditional leader. You don't ask questions. That's our system. So a lot of Nigerians are apathetic to politics. They don't vote. Look at the poor voting system in Nigeria. INEC will say we register 2.5 million on registration on the register. 300,000 people will vote. And there are governors here in the southwest that got elected with less than 300,000 votes. You will see huge number on the INEC register come on the voting day. You know, and of course, because there have been less than credible election, the few ones that will have voted are discouraged. They said, look, whatever we do, they will award it for themselves. So there is this voters' apathy. There is this, our votes don't count, which is in our mentality. So ignorance and this apathy to election. So even why we are not, like you said, the insecurity, the economic strangulation, the poverty, it is the people. Because all these political warlords, political officers, governors, senators, National Assembly, local, they are feeding fat. They are feeding fat. They have their children all over the world. Their security is made up. But the suffering people are ignorant. That is where their salvation lies. The suffering people, I just told you, good like corporate Nigerians, for instance. Look at corporate Nigerians. Many Nigerians are doing well. Corporate people, educated people, you won't find them at the world level. You will not, they say, no, I mean, it's not for us. Let them do their thing. Churches, Christian Association of Nigeria, PFN, you know what they do now? They are waiting for political parties to produce their candidates. Then they will invite them for interrogation. Why do you want us to vote for you? When you get there, what will you do to the nation? Will you address insecurity? What do you want? Is yes. Objective papers. Yes. And some of them will even say, let's sign MOU. But once they are sworn in, that is it. And I said to my Christian brethren, I said to general overseers, I said to Christian leaders, I said, is it not that something has happened to us? We vote for these people for 4 years. We condemn what they do. We protest. We address press conference. We carry placards. We pray against them. But come 4 years, they are still the ones that will vote for. Then we go to our churches. Oh Lord, deliver us. They come 4 years. They are the same people you will vote for. I think him doing the same thing the same way, expecting a different result, is insanity. So Nigerians, ordinary Nigerians, patriotic Nigerians, corporate Nigerians, the huge army of the church. Laulu, God has answered our prayers over Nigeria a long time ago. Long time ago. When I became a Christian, when I got born again, 1972, 54 years ago, if you see a church of 1,000, it's a mega church. Our church there, first, 300 people, 250 people will be celebrating. Today, we said a church has 40,000 branches. There are churches in Nigeria that cannot hold convention on one spot. There are too many. And yet, we lock up these people. We will need to give a new orientation, deliberately, intentionally, to say politics is not evil, politics is not dirty. That was a mistake. And I saw in 2023, because of effort of DPG that I represent, meeting all the church leaders, our daddies, I had meeting with them, national conferences. Now they came to be able to say, go and take your voter's card. By 2023, who are knowledgeable enough to say, go and take your voter's card. Then I asked them to vote for who? You are going to be voting for the same people, except you are parts. Now, the church, patriotic Nigerians, youth, should not just be at the voting center. They must be at the production center, where credible people are produced. Laulu, that's our problem. If not, come next year, January, we are going to vote for the same people. Can't you see that? The same old politicians. Why? They own the platform producing candidates. That's where the problem is. So this ignorance and this lie that has been told the church world that politics is dirty, politics is evil, and do you know what? The sheep does not see better than the shepherd.
So I want us to talk about the model that you have developed.
Yes.
As the National Director of the Directorate of Politics and Governance of PFN, I'm aware that you have developed a model. So I wanted to talk about it a little bit, and then we now come to what do we need to do, what has to happen for the church leaders. I want you to reserve that. What has to happen? But tell us about the model that you have developed, Pastor.
Thank you very much. What I'm calling the church world to do is what God helped me to do 1991-92 in Ibadan. And if you know anything about Ibadan, I'm not casting aspersion on anyone, is a traditional setting, is the politics of the son of the soil.
I'm from Ibadan too, Pastor.
Oh, well, guys, I'm sorry. And like I said, political parties are owned. In our own time, that was the days of SDP and RC.
Yes.
I was a political warlord over Ibadan. The late Chief Lamida Adedibu. You can't become anything, just like you have now. You can't become anything without him. But I was able to build a structure. Politics is about structure. It's about platforms, which the church does not know anything about and is not willing to build, which the youth, because I'm putting the two together, does not know anything about and are not willing to do. Now, I was able to build a structure. What is the structure? All the ward chairmen. I was able to get them to my side. You were holding meetings, you are involved. That is exactly the structure we have built now. 36 states plus Abuja. DPG had installed 36 state directors. In fact, 6 zonal directors. Nigeria has 6 zones. 6 zonal directors, 36 state directors, 774 local government directors, 8,808 ward directors. What we lack and what has been very difficult is the first rung of the ladder. We call them COG, Church Officer of Governance, which means every parish, like RCCG now with 40,000 parishes, we have to appoint 40,000 parish representatives. Those who call their own assemblies. Some people even call their branches campuses now. So every campus, every branch, every parish must have the church officer of governance that will register all the adult members within the same branch. This is not being partisan. I cannot be partisan. Our daddies cannot be partisans. GO cannot be partisan. It's not partisanship, it's ownership. Because all these millions and millions of members that are under us, that respond to us, they are Nigerians. They have civic responsibility to this country. They live within a world. They should join hands. Like I said, parties are in caucuses. So right now, there must be DPG caucus meeting in all the wards. And that is where you now give them orientation that you need, in addition to your voter's card, you need party cards. Please get to your church next Sunday. I give you an assignment, Olaolu. Get to church next Sunday if you are going, and that's tomorrow. Get there and ask how many people have voter's card. A good number will raise their hand. Ask them how many people have party cards. It will be 0. And if you're not in the party, how do you get involved in appointing parties? You see, those ward executives are the power. So that is the structure. Now, we should not just have voters card. All the youth listening to me, you should not just have voters card and be on the social media and be saying and be making noise. We must get to the ward and have party cards and be involved in ward election. And because of our size, of our number, option A4, our line will be the longest. And it's an open ballot. So now INEC is there, security people are there. So whoever has the largest number, the longest line, is the winner. And that is where power can change hands. So that is the structure on ground, but without the general overseers, because church members are sheep. They listen only to their shepherd. These shepherds are where we have problems.
Absolutely. And that is where we are getting to now. I think, I'm going to make it, it's a conversation. I'll give you my perspective and then you will give yours. Right. I think some of the church leaders, and just as this affects church, it also affects, mosque and others.
All right.
I think part of the problem, Pastor, is that some of the church leaders they don't want to be seen to confront the politicians. This is my own observation.
Yeah.
including, from both religions. They don't want to be seen to be the one to exert that influence. They are reluctant to showcase or to turn those numbers into real political force, because some of them are afraid of the politicians and of judgment. That's my view. How do you see it, Pastor?
You are correct. You are correct. Many of them, you see, I just said the other time that it is not partisanship, but ownership. Many people see things from the perspective of, we cannot be partisan. In my church, we have PDP, we have APC, we have ID, but it's not partisanship. It is that unlock your members. I just said to you, the church community in Nigeria is an imprisoned community. They are locked up in their parishes. They are locked up in their assemblies. And they have grown up with the mentality of politics is evil. Don't go near. Now, many of our church fathers have this fear of being accused of partisanship. And it is not partisanship. It is taking responsibility. God gave you millions of people who follow you like sheep. Do you know our members listen to us? More than their parents.
Absolutely.
They listen to us. They don't even listen to all these political governors. They don't listen to them.
They don't even regard them
at all. They don't even regard them. They look at them as thieves, as corrupt people. They are our problem. They are your problem, but we are not doing anything about it. So they follow us like anything. So it is this fear. And then a few ones, unfortunately to say, are also, what do I say now? Is it complicit? Or, the
compromise?
Like I was saying to our church father, I have the opportunity of being their director. I said, look, after the political parties have appointed have selected their candidate, what you will see for Lolaolu, you will see them go from church to church, mosque to mosque, to seek the endorsement and the prayers of the big godfathers. And it's not because they are sincere, but they see the followership behind them. And they want to take pictures with them. They want to see them put their hands on their head, anointing them, just to deceive voters. That look, Big Daddy has endorsed me. Big Bishop has endorsed me. Big Archbishop has endorsed me. And when they come, can I say this on air? When they come, they also bring seed. They said, we give you, and there's nothing wrong as a church father, as a church members give you seed. But these are the people who come deceptively, give you seed, make donation to the project you are doing in the church. I have been involved, and I have told them this year, I have been involved in committees set up by PFN to interrogate political candidates, presidential candidates. And I told them there is no way there. They will tell you yes, yes, yes. At that point, it's vote they need. As they leave the church, they are going to the mosque. As they leave the mosque, they are going to the shrine. Anywhere, they are going to the market. Anywhere they can get food. Anywhere. I've been there. Anywhere they can get vote. It's not that they are sincere. But after that such interrogation, they will say they make donation to CAN. They made donation to the mosque. They made donation to the work you are doing. The committee that invited them money for minerals. We take it. Our mouth are sealed. Is that helping us?
No.
So the church father has nothing to fear. We must be responsible to our members. These members are dying of hunger. Many of them are japa. And when you go there, you become a second-class citizen. We are losing our best brains because there's no environment. So I think we should prioritize that above. We will be misunderstood. We will be called partisan. And it's not partisanship. Partisanship is that you are in APC throwing soul against PDP, or you are in ADC fighting APC. That's partisanship. I cannot be partisan. I cannot belong to any political party. But what about the huge members under me? They are Nigerians. They have civil responsibility. I must unlock them. I must train them. I must mobilize them and say, go to your grassroots, go to your ward. That's where you live, your streets. You have electricity bill there, you stay there, join them. take part in selecting credible leaders. And that's what we are appealing them to do. So that is the area, that's the lacuna. We must understand that it is not partisanship. We are the fathers, you know, the governors, the president, they call us fathers. Fathers that does not control what the son does.
Thank you so much, Pastor. Well, one last question as we begin to wrap up. You know, first of all, to say that it is very important that you continue and those of us that also have platforms to encourage, you know, our religious leaders to tap into that that power that they have, you know, and you've clarified it that no, it's not that they will become partisan, but to set the people free. I like what you said about the fact that we have gone through 3 colonizations, and it cannot be put better. We have the colonial rule itself, we have the military rule, and it turns out that the democracy that we say we have is not giving us the desired.
We are in bondage. They held us to ransom.
So our religious leaders, they owe us that responsibility to help us to get out of this level of colonization.
Nigeria is a religious country. You cannot remove that. See the number of people in churches. Nigeria, and they are young people, educated people. Nigeria is a very religious society, both in mosque and in church. So you can, and that's where the teeming majorities go. So we have a responsibility to them.
Absolutely, and I agree with you entirely. And this is something that we continue to pursue online and offline. But one last question. So the president has now been in office, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for 3 years. What is your assessment of what has happened in those 3 years? Final question, Pastor.
Well, 3 years of our president, His Excellency Ahmed Bola Tinubu. I am an objective person. I've never met President Tinubu before. He doesn't know me. But I think he met a very, very bad situation. It's like giving a car whose engine has knocked. You have to dismember it, remove it. And I think these 3 years, that's what he's been trying to do. And it's not easy. Nigeria is not an easy country to govern because of the centrifugal forces of ethnicity and religion. I am sure, much as our President Bola Tinubu said, it has been his desire to be the president of Nigeria. And of course, you get to Abeokuta and say, Milukon, and all the rest of it. Then he came in. I'm sure what he met was far, far more than what he expects. But once you are there, I mean, like he also said many times, he's not ready to complain. He has to fix it. He's trying his best. He has taken some very audacious steps, very courageous, removal of fuel subsidy that was killing us, equalization of naira and dollar, and some of these, school fees and loans to students. But in the area of insecurity, there is so much yet to be done. Again, like I said, the insecurity in Nigeria will be very, very difficult to fight. Because those that are taking people into the forest, the bandits, the kidnappers, they are not Nigerians. They are the people that came in from the Sahel region. And if I would want to go deeper into that, there are forces that want to take over Nigeria and turn it into a Sharia state. So those things are very difficult to fight. But I think on the average, he has done his best within the situation that we have. But there is still so much yet to be done. Many of his lieutenants, a leader is as powerful, as good as those who surround him. So many of those who surround him, our presidents, are also not sincere because corruption still goes on unabated. Looting still goes on. So he must look at those areas, and whoever, no matter whose ox is God, again, Nigerian politics, you can't get there as a president and do what you want. Okay, I was speaking somewhere 2 days ago in Abeokuta. I said we have a constitution that says ministers must come from 36 states of the country. including Abuja. Look, Nigeria does not need more than 14, 15 ministers. As His Excellency Governor Fashola at a point held 3 ministries.
Yes.
And he did it successfully. But the constitution says you must have, each state must be represented. And the constitution says there are things you want to do, constitution does not allow you. That's why some of us are advocating that this constitution must be jettisoned and must produce the one that can make Nigeria work. So there are some of the things that are holding anybody's hand. He can't do, he wouldn't want to violate, he can't even violate constitution. So he's done his best within the situation available, but he can do more, and he should do more within the next 1 year.
All right. Thank you so much, Pastor Femi Emmanuel. Thank you for coming to Inside Sources. Thank you for the passion and the burden that you have taken on regarding how to get out of this third colonization. And I agree with your perspective entirely. We will continue to push, and you know, I want to encourage you not to give up because this is our country. We will find a way. Thank you so much for what you represent.
Thank you, Lalo, for inviting me. God bless you.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you.
That's a segment. I'm going to be returning with a concluding segment with a short conversation with the political editor of The Sun, Mr. Ishmael Omipidon. Don't go away. Welcome back to Inside Sources. I want to have a quick conversation on some of the fallouts that we've all seen regarding the primaries that is going on, especially in the ruling party. To join me in that important conversation, I have a notable Nigerian political commentator and author and the political editor of The Sun, and he's a returning guest to Inside Sources. I'd like to welcome Mr. Ishmael Omipidon. My brother, good to see you again.
And the pleasure is mine. Good evening, sir.
Exactly. It's political season. And,
yeah, it is. The season has started. It will continue like this till next year.
Till next year.
Even though for the 2027 election, the campaign will start effectively in September. But don't forget that we have elections in Ekiti and Osun.
Yeah.
Ekiti is next month.
Yeah.
Osun is August.
Right.
So
it's going to be very intense.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you, now I don't think that all of this started under APC, this kind of primaries, all kind of stuff. But I think the fact that the APC is testing this idea of direct primaries may have increased the level of the noise, the dissatisfaction, the complaints. I mean, look at what is happening. People like Negun Woko, people like Adilabu, even Benga Daniel, the former governor, they are screaming blue murder. What's your take, Mr. Mipino?
Well, if you look at the constitution of the APC, if you are not in charge of the party structure, you can't make it in direct primaries. Because one, apart from the financial implication, what it means is that elections will be held in all the units.
Yeah, all the wards.
And the wards in a particular state. Let's take a state, for instance. Now, if the governor is in charge of the party structure, he gives directives to the local government chairman. The local government chairman is in charge of the logistics that will organize the election at the local government level. Yeah. He also gives directives to the ward chairman. So, if you are not in charge, I don't see how you can make any headway in direct primaries.
Okay.
However, what I see intriguing is the fact that those who profess progressivism, they appear not to be learning from the late sage, Pa Obafemi Awolowo. Historically, records show very clearly that when party chieftains disagree with their leader, that is late Pa Awolowo, they go into primaries, transparent and fair one. And in most of the cases, Awolowo's preferred candidate losing those elections.
Yeah, look at what happened in 1979.
Yeah, exactly. Alayede and Bola, but I have not seen that play out here. Here, most often it's the preferred candidates of the leaders that even when they appear to, those preferred candidates appear not to be too popular, the leaders will find a way and means of ensuring that they emerge at all costs. For me, that is the pushback as far as this process is concerned.
You made a point, in your opening remarks that there is, you talked about the financial requirement. But normally, the argument is that one of the reasons why we don't want to be doing delegate primaries is because that one is more of money. You give money to delegates.
The aspect of financial here is that you don't need to give money to any delegate. However, you need to mobilize members of the party to defeat, to come out.
That's it. There was one video that said they gave us only 1,000 naira.
And you cannot mobilize them with just words of mouth. You cannot.
No, I mean,
the only candidate that I have seen emerge without spending near to a dime, it's Adegoke Rashid. If he wins the election, he's likely to represent me, Osun Central. Kerat, they call him Kerat, SAS.
Senator, okay.
He did not spend a dime.
Okay.
I was involved, I know.
So how did that happen?
Now, that happened because, he's from Oshogbo.
Okay.
Oshogbo is the state capital of Osun.
Yeah.
Now, Oshogbo at some point bidded for the governorship. Now, they lost out in the process.
Okay.
Now, the current senator from Osun Central is from my own local government, Ilaogun.
Okay.
Whereas...
Osun Central is Oshogbo.
Yes, Osun Central is... Whereas, if you miss the Oshogbo votes, you are not likely to make it in the end. Now, because APC has election in August,
right.
Now, Oshogbo has not emerged as candidate. Oshogbo has not emerged as deputy. And so you need to give them something if you really want their support in August 15th,
for the gubernatorial
election. I'm sure that was how the team played. Because if it were for money, I'm sure the current Senator Ajagunla would have spent
interesting.
Kerat.
Interesting. That's very...
For data, for instance, don't forget that Ned Nwoko left the PDP because of the governor.
Yeah, he went ahead.
And I recall when the governor was coming, there was an analysis I did. I said, unless the party leadership at the national level find a way of bringing them together, that these persons were going to lose out eventually, because the constitution of the party is very clear. The governor is the leader of the party in the state.
Yeah.
And so, if you disagree with the leader of the party in the state, go help you. I don't know. I can't see how you will get a ticket to return.
Okay.
Because they will just pass instructions. And because it's open, there will be nobody to queue behind you. If it were secret balloting, some persons who may not like the governor's instruction may still go ahead to vote for somebody like Nwoko. But because it's open, anything you do, everybody sees you. So,
what do you think about Lagos State, especially the gubernatorial?
Honestly, I must confess that I was one of those that were surprised at the choice of Amzat. How do I mean? After our current president left as governor of Lagos State,
yes,
all those who have succeeded him have little or no idea about Lagos politics. And that is why they just face governance. But Amzat is neck deep in Lagos politics.
Yeah, born into it.
And so what we'll be having is that Amzat will be the first governor that will be both politically and technologically sound to govern Lagos. And so, because of those features, I was thinking in my own mind that Tinubu may not likely go for him. Now, but later when I found out, I realized that the leaders may have resolved that, look, it is better to keep the home front united because of the battle ahead, because this man has bidded for the governorship twice before now.
This is his third one.
This is his third one. Now, and because he's a politician, there's every likelihood that if you deny him, there might be some reactions, repercussions. And I'm not sure APC is ready for that because of the bigger picture. And so that probably may be why they settled for him. And in the history of Lagos State, he will go down in history as one aspirant before emerging as candidate that got overwhelming endorsement and support.
Yeah.
In the past, there will be divisions, but he got majority. And so all I can say is to wish him well and to advise him strongly not to allow some of these things get into his heads. And he must be prepared to manage his relationship with the president, because a lot of people will be watching what will happen. Well, I must also commend him, because I recall when he stepped down for Sanwo-Olu and he eventually emerged as deputy, I was envisaging a kind of Tinubu-Akerele-Boknos relationship, because the two of them were qualified to be governor.
Yeah.
Now they asked one to be deputy. And so the other one was feeling that, after all, I'm also qualified for this position. So she refused to bow.
Which is credit to both of them.
Yeah, until she was sent packing. But look at Hamzat, for the 8 years, I am not sure I've had anything in the open with regards to maybe disagreement with his boss or trying to undermine his boss. So I must give him credit for that. Perhaps all those who worked together to make him eligible for the position.
Yeah. Very, very important point that you made, that he is the first person that is both politically savvy and also, very competent.
Very competent.
Everybody says that in Lagos State. And that's why I see what is that particular process in Lagos, the emergence of somebody of Hamzat's ill as something that gives us hope that look, we can do even this politics, we can do it properly.
That is what. I agree. But what I find strange, it's how we have been unable to replicate the Lagos template. Maybe after this, maybe other states will want to, because in history, Hamzat will go down as the first deputy governor in Lagos State to emerge governor.
Yeah,
we've had it in the north. We've never had it anywhere in the south.
Yeah. Yeah, in a few places in the north, including Kano.
Yeah, Kano, Zamfara, Jigawa. I think so far.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Mikwino, for your insightful comments. And like you said, we are in the season, so we're going to be having more and more of these interactions going forward. Thank you for coming to Inside Sources.
The pleasure is mine. Thank you.
And there you have it, another edition of Inside Sources. Like we always say, Nigeria will prevail. It means Nigeria will win, partly because we will keep pushing at the major issues of the day. Thank you for watching. My name is Laolu Akonde, and I'll see you on the Friday edition.